Has Philadelphia, Michael, become the destination for players that are either free agents or via trade or want to win championships or win a lot of games or making deep runs in the playoffs? Are they that destination now?
Well, Philly, when you're winning, and Philly has been winning, people always want to take an opportunity to win. You know, that's where veterans want to go. But I also think that these guys have done an incredible job of interchanging players and bringing players in and trying to continue to evolve their football team. Let me tell you something. The thought of getting Myles Garrett.
Ooh, my goodness.
And I don't know what you got to give up to get a Myles Garrett, but the thought of a Jalen Carter and a Myles Garrett on a defensive line, it's just scary for the NFL. Reminds me of a Reggie White and a Jerome Brown back in the day. We had an offensive lineman when we were getting ready to play Reggie White and Jerome Brown. The dude came over and just said, "I'm out." They said, "What's wrong with you?" He said, "I'm hurting somewhere in here. All I know is I'm not playing," because that guy, they intimidated him so much. This would be scary for the league, the thought of them getting Myles Garrett.
No, I don't even want to think about this. You know what this is equivalent of? This is equivalent of Kevin Durant going to Golden State. If Myles Garrett goes to the Eagles. Because I saw what their front court did, and I know who they are offensively, one of the best. But defensively, it'll be a historic defense. It will be a historic defense if Myles Garrett. But when you win, this is what happens. You know, you have all the makings to be a dynasty when you win one championship, because now you get players who haven't won that are still pretty good, that'll come there for pennies to the dollar at some point after they made all their money and say, "Hey, I'll come join you." And you'll always have a chance. That just happens. That's the way sports has been, not only in football. It happens in basketball when you're one of those teams, when you're one of those franchises, especially when you have great coaching, you have a great owner, and you have a great core. So look for Philly.
You speak of great core, great owner. You mentioned it. You think about when Jeff Lurie bought the team in 1994, way back in 1994. Now, look, they had a little bit, Andy Reid was doing his thing, and then they had a little bit of a bump. Chip Kelly came in, and Howie Roseman was kind of pushed to the side when Chip Kelly took over. But Jeff Lurie, the owner, realized, I got to get rid of Chip Kelly. I can't have him messing this up. And then they bring Howie Roseman back into the fold.
Where you give the credit.
And you give the credit to Howie Roseman in the organization. You say to yourself, okay, he was promoted to executive vice president of football operations.
Right.
And he says, you know what? I'm going to run the show now. Now, I'm going to go out there and draft well. I'm going to sign guys in free agency well. I'm going to find guys that are on the scraps, bring them in, develop them, get them back in the fold. He was able to do all of these sort of things, and here they are now. In 8 seasons, they've gone to 3 Super Bowls, and they've won 2 of them in the last 8 seasons. Right. Think about that for a minute out there, how you are pushed aside for another coach that didn't really do anything. You brought back in the fold, retooled everything. Now you become the destination in the National Football League for potential free agents, guys that want to be traded, undrafted free agents, just guys that want to win and win big. And I tried to tell you, you kept telling me to star, Michael, and I'm like, nah.
Well, nope. We were talking a different opportunity there, but what you're seeing here and what he has done. Think about this. We talked about the immaturity and the lack of leadership in the locker room just a little while ago when they went 10-1 and 1-5. Right. Now you're telling me you go through this offseason, you bring in a generational talent in Saquon Barkley. Now that's just on the football field.
Forgot about him.
That's on the football field. Let's talk about the kind of person he is that you're bringing in this locker room. And I already told you what he meant to this team now, and I think A.J. Brown and all these guys are watching him. Now, then, the next offseason, you turn around and bring in a generational talent after you won a Super Bowl, like a Myles Garrett. And here again, imagine the kind of person that's going in that locker room. It's the same kind of person as Saquon Barkley. And you're going to need those kinds of stable people to continue to try to get back to that Super Bowl again. It's really brilliant, and I'm glad you gave him some credit to give him some credit like he deserves.
You mentioned get back to the Super Bowl. There was talks that Travis Kelce may retire this offseason, but the Chiefs general manager, Brett Veach, said that he expects Kelce to return and that the tight end is fired up about staying in Kansas City. So, Paul, what you expect out of Kelce in 2025? You expect for him to be the same guy, a different guy, on a tour, a rock star tour?
Now,
What you expect for him to be?
I think Kelce understands there's light at the end of the tunnel. He understands how to be a professional. But I also know that he felt like they left a title on the table. I think Kelce is going to come back very motivated, Key. I think we're going to see a better version of him this next season. I don't know. You know, it looked like he was a step slow this year for some reason, or him and Mahomes had a disconnect. It seemed like I expect them to get back on the same page. Not that he had a bad year. He had a very good year, by the way. I think they're going to get back on the same page, and we're going to see some vintage Kelce because he's going to be motivated. They went to the Super Bowl and left one on the field. That stings. That messes up your stomach. I know what it feels like to lose in a championship. You don't want to see your face. You don't want to. Yeah, we lost to the Lakers.
Oh, okay. My bad, man.
I didn't want to come outside. I didn't want to go. It messes up my summer. So I can see that he's gonna be back in the lab, remotivated, and say, look, they got a chance to continue to make history and squeeze one, maybe two more titles while Kelce is still one of the best.
Yeah.
Is he coming back strong, Michael?
Yeah,
He's gonna be on tour.
Yeah, he'll play. He'll play, and he should play because this is a different kind of guy. You know, here again, it's not about any speed or anything that he loses because he plays the game at a different place in a different space. And there's never been a tight end in the history of the game that plays quite like Travis Kelce does, and his ability to go and open and find ways to get open. Man, I love this dude, man. I just absolutely love him. I love his spirit. I love the dude he is, the person he is.
Talking to in that pink tie.
How hard he plays.
Michael, look at you.
Yeah, I'm clean right there, man.
Hey, Reverend.
That was after Thursday night game. Man, we had some.
And
I think
Lord
he gave me COVID after that.
Fake ass Johnny Cochran.
And the Lord said.
I look good in that pink, man. Look at my boy, man. God almighty, man.
Mike, that's Reverend Mike.
Y'all think about this, man. How many games we go into saying the whole idea of this defense is to stop Travis Kelce. Right.
Look, I think he's going to be the same guy. I think he's going to be the same guy.
But hold on, Keith, how many times we go in and saying the defense is going to stop Travis Kelce? They got to stop. And we see him, and he's not just open. He's wide open.
Wide open.
That's what I'm saying.
Wide
so
open.
He's just different, man. Yeah,
I think he'll be the same guy. First of all, I don't believe he's going to retire. I never thought he would retire. And because he can still play. And when you're having fun and you leave the game with you lose, it's a sour taste in your mouth.
Yeah, for sure.
The guys like this, when they lose, they don't just retire. They come back and try it again. Right. And then if they win it, then they go and they retire. He's got $17 million on the table. Yeah. Okay? He's not walking away from that. I don't care how much money he's going to earn. No one walks away from $17 million. You just don't do it. You just don't do it.
Not when you don't walk away from heaven, and he's in a heaven-like situation.
And you don't walk away from that quarterback and that head coach. Right. There's no way, rhyme, or reason to even do such a thing.
When the window is still open like it is for them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go ahead and you take care of business.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.